Defeated 8 current Hall of Famers inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame. He is the 8th Division World Champion. Please welcome back to the sport of boxing, the legend Manny Pacquiao!
Balahi, yung sumbang.
Ingat tangan, human na nga.
I miss boxing. I'm excited for the fans to give a good fight. Boxing is my passion. The way I train, the way I work hard to make sure that I can give a good fight to the fans.
Manny is back, and this time, there's something different in his eyes. He's not walking in reckless, not chasing ghosts of the past, not promising fireworks just for the cameras. No, he's measured, focused. He says he won't overlook his opponent, won't underestimate a single punch, a single second, a single mistake, because he's been here before. He knows how quickly legends can fall, but beneath that calm respect, there's a quiet storm building, a belief he doesn't need to shout about. He's convinced his conditioning is sharper, his body leaner, his timing tighter than Floyd's. While the world debates age and mileage, Manny's betting on discipline, on sacrifice, on the miles logged in silence, while no one was watching. He's not promising revenge. He's promising readiness. And that might be even more dangerous.
You train hard, you have to defend his belt. I'm a challenger, so I have to make more extra mile to punish myself and able to win the fight. And that's my goal. I'm not underestimating my opponent. I have to make sure that I'm 100% conditioned. I'm still here. Manny Pacquiao.
Manny says Floyd pushed for an exhibition, a spectacle, a safe dance under bright lights. But he wanted something real, something that counts when the records are written in ink. Now fully committed, Manny isn't chasing nostalgia. He's chasing truth. He's determined to give fans authenticity, danger, and the kind of raw excitement that only lives inside the ring when everything is on the line.
Michael Ren! We're not done yet.
Mo na siya. Kita pa niyo mo kumbes dari anak ka Awan din.
Last 30 seconds.
Manny explains that anyone with true spirit and passion for boxing can keep fighting, no matter what the calendar says, because age doesn't throw punches, doubt does. He believes that when the fire is real, when the love for the grind still burns before sunrise road work and long after the gym lights fade, a fighter can still rise, still endure, still shock the world. To him, it's never been about numbers, it's about hunger. It's about proving that dedication isn't seasonal, that sacrifice doesn't expire, that the heart can outlast the headlines. Manny isn't just talking about throwing combinations. He's talking about purpose, about stepping back into the storm because the sport still calls your name in the quiet. And in that belief, he's sending a message without saying it outright. This isn't nostalgia. This is devotion. Not a farewell tour, but a statement. Because when passion is genuine, when spirit refuses to fade, boxing doesn't push you out. You choose when the story ends.
He wants an exhibition with me, but I disagree, and I want to fight with exhibition with him. I want to fight a real fight like this. So this is it. This is what I'm waiting for.
Manny emphasizes his motivation, saying his brain has never once whispered that he's tired. And that silence, that refusal to surrender, is exactly why he keeps stepping back into the fire. He swears the body follows the mind, and his mind, it's still sharp, still restless, still chasing something unfinished. That's why he continues competing with a kind of relentless determination that doesn't fade when the lights dim or the critics get louder. For him, fatigue isn't physical, it's mental. And until that voice in his head tells him to slow down, to let go, to walk away, he won't. Because as long as the hunger speaks louder than the doubt, Manny believes the fight isn't over. It's just getting interesting.
Of course, boxing is boxing, it's really hard sport. When laziness comes to your body, to your mind, then stop boxing. Forget about boxing. But as long as you dedicated, you have fire, you have, you have interest to punish yourself like that, for hard work, you enjoy doing hard work, training like that, discipline, then go for it. Like, continue boxing,
Yeah.
But
if you do that, you'll be successful.
Of course. But something like comes to your mind, like especially in the middle of like preparation, like let's say 2 months after 1 month training, it's like tired, like lazy.
Manny trains with stick conditioning inside camp, a ritual that looks almost primitive at first glance, but carries a purpose far deeper than the bruises it leaves behind. It's a method designed to sharpen pain tolerance, to carve resilience into muscle memory, to make every nerve in his body familiar with discomfort before the real battle even begins. Each strike isn't punishment, it's preparation. Each sting is a reminder that the ring won't be gentle, that the toughest challenges don't announce themselves politely. And so he absorbs it, breath steady, eyes focused, teaching his body not just to endure pain, but to stay composed through it. Because when fight night comes and the pressure closes in, he doesn't want surprise. He wants recognition. He wants to feel the storm and think, I've been here before.
The time comes, come to my mind, my heart, I'm busy, I'm tired. Then forget about boxing. Yeah, right? But as long as you have passion, dedication.
You still have fire, yeah.
Yes, of course. But look at your body also. Because sometimes your mind is active, but your body
It's mine stopped a long time ago.
So that's why I'm trying. I'm trying to push myself, but God is stopping. Really.
Manny Pacquiao promotion CEO sends a clear warning into the noise. Don't expect an easy target. Don't expect a statue in the center of the ring. He reminds everyone that Floyd Mayweather Jr. has never been a stationary fighter, never the kind to stand still and trade just to entertain the crowd. Movement is his language. Strategy is his shield. Adaptability is his survival instinct. And on fight night, that chess match will unfold in real time. He'll pivot before the trap is set, adjust before the pattern is solved, slip away just when the opening looks real. The message isn't fear, it's awareness. If you blink, you'll miss the shift. If you rush, you'll walk into the counter. Because with Mayweather, the danger isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet step to the left that changes everything.
Only heavy place. Heavy place. Time. Here's the time, Jimbo. I did that mine go 45 seconds.
Go. Go.
Time.
He confirms there are no medical issues hanging over either fighter. No hidden injuries, no last-minute scares, no whispers behind closed doors. Both men are cleared, both protected, both backed by insurance that ensures their safety inside a sport that never guarantees comfort. There's no cloud over this bout, no serious concern threatening to dim the lights before they even shine. Everything is in place. Everything is official. And that clarity, it raises the stakes. Because now there are no excuses waiting in the shadows. Only two fighters, fully prepared, fully accountable, stepping toward a moment the world is ready to witness.
I don't think Floyd will ever be a stationary target. I think Manny knows that. I don't think Floyd by any means is an easy fighter, or an easy opponent. Yeah, don't expect Floyd to be a stationary target. That's not Floyd. Floyd is Floyd. I mean, there's a reason why he's nicknamed the greatest of all time. There's a reason why he's the GOAT. There's a reason why he's 50-0. And there's a reason. There's a bigger reason why he's agreed to step back in the ring, and that's because Floyd is Floyd. And of course, Manny's Manny, Floyd is Floyd, and Floyd's not just gonna step into something knowing that, Floyd plays to win, as does Manny. So it's gonna be very.
Manny Pacquiao trains with Freddie Roach in the gym, and the rhythm is unmistakable. Pads snapping like thunder, feet gliding across canvas, sweat catching the light with every explosive burst. He hits with speed that feels urgent, precision that feels calculated, and power that echoes long after the combination ends. There's no wasted motion, no lazy second between rounds. Roach calls the sequence, and Manny answers instantly, like muscle memory stitched into his DNA. Each strike isn't just about technique. It's a statement, a reminder that the fire still burns, that the hunger still pushes him forward. You can see it in his eyes between flurries, that relentless determination refusing to blink. This isn't nostalgia. This is preparation. And inside those gym walls, with every crack of leather against leather, the message is clear. He's not here to revisit the past. He's here to rewrite the ending.
Floyd's 49 and Manny's 47.
I mean, the testing, I mean, the medicals and stuff are the same. It's the standard full physical, MRI, MRA, the eye exam, blood, EKG. So very standard, like what it is typically. They're getting insurance, so that's not a problem, right? So that there's no concerns or any issues there. You also have to look at their history, right? Their history is, look at how many fights they've done. Look at how they've performed. They've always shown up. They haven't been, they're not flight risks. So we have to go back in the history and look at it. And of course, you see Manny's performance was great.
Yeah, and going back to the first fight, drug testing was a big sticking point for Floyd, right? Is there going to be drug testing for this fight?
Yes, most likely.
Meanwhile, Floyd Mayweather Jr. remains locked in inside training camp, the silence around him almost deceptive. There are no wild declarations, no dramatic promises, just repetition, discipline, and the steady rhythm of a master refining his craft. He sharpens his skills the way he always has, methodically, obsessively, turning small adjustments into massive advantages. Every drill has purpose. Every round has intention. He maintains the same discipline that built his legacy, guarding his focus like it's part of his defense. While the noise outside grows louder, inside the gym it's controlled, calculated, almost surgical. He's preparing intensely for the upcoming fight, not chasing headlines, but sharpening edges. Because with Floyd, preparation isn't about proving he can still do it. It's about reminding everyone he never forgot how. Floyd Mayweather Jr. hits the pads with authority, sharp combinations, tight defense, and that familiar precision that turns simple drills into a masterclass. Every movement reflects power, speed, focus, and relentless preparation, the same championship mentality that built his legacy. He's not training for show. He's training with purpose, sharpening instincts like a fighter who knows history is watching. Meanwhile, analyst Max Kellerman has weighed in on the matchup between Floyd and Manny Pacquiao, offering honest perspective on what this fight represents. He admits he doesn't usually comment on an athlete's finances, but he hopes that if Floyd chooses to step into the ring, he earns well and walks away secure, wealthy, and satisfied with his career chapter. Kellerman points out that Manny isn't chasing a paycheck. He's chasing competition. He wants a real fight, not an exhibition. Something meaningful that tests skill and legacy. Looking back at their first encounter, Kellerman was critical, calling it underwhelming compared to the hype surrounding it. Now, with both fighters in their 50s, the uncertainty is even greater, and the stakes feel different. Still, he respects both legends. Yet he leans toward Pacquiao when it comes to excitement and authenticity, believing the real draw isn't just nostalgia, but the challenge, the intensity, and the skill that could still unfold inside the ring for fans waiting to witness history again. Paulie Malignaggi sees this fight as another high-profile cash grab, a spectacle built on names rather than necessity. He reflects on the first clash between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Manny Pacquiao, reminding everyone that even with its historic label, it never fully delivered the passion and intensity fans were craving. The build-up promised fireworks, but what unfolded often felt more like a tactical chess match than an all-out war. Back then, it carried real championship weight, real stakes inside the welterweight division. It meant something in the rankings, in the legacy debates, in the belts on the line. This time, that competitive significance isn't the same. Instead, the fight lives on curiosity, nostalgia, and the massive global star power both men still command. Malignaggi points out that today audiences aren't tuning in purely for competition. They're tuning in for the event, the spectacle, the memory of greatness. A dynamic echoed by exhibitions like those of Mike Tyson, whose appearances decades after his prime still draw attention. In the end, it's less about proving who's better now, and more about witnessing two icons step back into the spotlight one more time. While this is an official fight, not just an exhibition, the undertone of entertainment still lingers in the air. Manny Pacquiao brings age-defying power and that familiar aggression, while Floyd Mayweather Jr. counters with defensive brilliance, elite timing, and decades of experience that have defined his career. Yet both men stand in remarkable condition for fighters of their years, proving they haven't stepped back into the ring lightly. This matchup isn't simply about championship belts or legacy dominance. It's about testing skill, endurance, and strategy under the brightest spotlight possible. It's about seeing how two legends adapt when time has passed but pride remains intact. With Netflix's involvement, the event reaches far beyond hardcore boxing fans, bringing instant access to casual viewers who may not follow the sport but instantly recognize the names. RAS Max Kellerman once said, "When boxing comes together properly, it stops the world." And voices like Mullen AG echo that sentiment, acknowledging that while this rematch may not carry the same weight as the original in terms of legacy stakes, the curiosity, nostalgia, and sheer star power ensure massive attention. For fans old and new, Pacquiao Mayweather rematch becomes more than a fight. It's a global spectacle blending skill with showmanship, history with headlines, creating a moment few will be able to ignore.
Shady. That's one thing I don't do. I don't talk about no other athletes' money. I don't do that.
By the way, my hope is that Floyd isn't going broke.
Right.
So, if he is, that he makes all the money in the world for a Pacquiao fight and rides off into the sunset a rich man. I wish him the best.
I want to fight somebody. I don't care about the money and all that.
Who you want him to fight?
That's not good with
don't
Pacquiao.
wanna fight
Pacquiao just drew with Barrios.
Yeah, and you see what he look like?
Yeah, because they're not on that level
I
anymore.
don't wanna-
So what do you
Shane.
think's gonna happen here, though? What do we think's gonna happen in Mayweather Pacquiao? Are you interested in it?
Yeah.
Is it a good fight?
Yeah.
I'll be
Yeah, me
watching.
too.
Yeah, watch it. The first one was awful, but now they're
Yeah.
50 years old. Let's see it.
But why though? But you didn't like the first time he
No, I
fought.
didn't.
I'm not gonna watch the
You
second
didn't
one.
like that match?
No, the first
Oh,
fight.
yeah,
Of
so
course you did,
when they
'cause
wasn't
Floyd made it look
grandpas,
easy. I know you
when they
didn't
wasn't
like it.
grandpas,
By the way,
y'all didn't like it.
that fight went more or less how I thought it would go. I always thought it would go that way. I didn't like the fact that it was a
Who's your
diminished
favorite fighter, Pacquiao or Floyd?
Come on, we
My
know it's Pacquiao.
favorite- No, I don't know.
Pacquiao.
Actually, Floyd. Watching Floyd fight is actually more my style of that perfect boxer.
That's what
when
I-
I do a pound for pound ranking. I'm trying to be objective. Pacquiao jumped more weight classes. What he did pound for pound to me was more impressive.
But you have him over Floyd. in
But
the
I
pound for pound
never
list.
thought Pacquiao was going to beat Floyd ever.
But
never thought it
Pacquiao,
was
he's one of
gonna
my favorite fighters.
Who?
Floyd and Pacquiao, they're one of my favorite fighters. But I still want
Floyd's
to
the
see it.
longer, bigger, better defensive fighter.
Right.
You know,
But let's be real, what this is all about, business. This is going to be a mega event. Doesn't matter how old they are. They're the two biggest names in boxing today. Even
Dan Raphael points out that the scheduling of Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather Jr. is being positioned carefully, aligning both fighters on similar timelines and building toward a potential September 19th showdown at the Sphere in Las Vegas. The timing feels intentional, almost engineered to maximize momentum and media attention as the date approaches. Raphael notes that Netflix's involvement isn't surprising. The platform thrives on high-profile, attention-grabbing events rather than traditional boxing cards, turning fights into global streaming moments. Unlike their historic 2015 clash, which shattered pay-per-view records and generated staggering revenue, this bout likely won't replicate that same financial explosion. The landscape has changed. Instead, Netflix offers reach and convenience. Fans can tune in without purchasing extra pay-per-view access beyond their subscription, a model that has already proven effective with events like Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson. The strategy focuses on exposure over exclusivity, accessibility over cost barriers. The promotion itself is a collaboration between Manny Pacquiao Promotions, Mayweather Promotions, and CSI Fight Sports, the organization also managing Mayweather's broader business ventures. Together, they're building a cross-promotional spectacle designed less around legacy dominance and more around global visibility, strategic branding, and sustained attention in today's streaming-driven era.
This fight was also a cash grab, but really, that one was also a little bit too late, and really they didn't really fight with that passion and fire. It was more like, I'll dance, you dance, and if nobody gets hurt, we both win, and that's not really what fans want to see. Having said that, the first time around was for the championship of the world. Floyd was champion. Pacquiao was challenging him. I think Floyd had the WBC title at the time, so on and so forth. And you know what I say about. And at the time, it was still a fight that was viable within the whole world landscape of the welterweight division. This time around, it's not really a viable fight within the landscape of the welterweight division. But it's like I always complain about Canelo. As long as you don't take the belts with you and hold them hostage, and the sanctioning bodies allow you to hold them hostage, I don't mind guys doing this kind of thing. Let's face it. Is it the only time we've seen this? We've seen this time and again. I mean, Leonard did the third fight with Duran and Hearns.
Dan Raphael makes it clear that while the competitive dynamics of the fight remain uncertain, the spectacle alone guarantees global attention because both Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather Jr. still carry that rare, enduring fame that transcends generations. The outcome may spark debate, the pace may spark criticism, but the names on the poster spark instant interest. For him, this isn't just another bout on the calendar. It's a must-watch event that stretches beyond hardcore boxing circles and into mainstream conversation. Dedicated fans will analyze every jab and defensive slip, while casual viewers will tune in simply because these two icons defined an era. That crossover appeal, built on legacy, history, and recognition, is what turns the fight into more than competition. It turns it into a global moment.
In the rematch with Hearns and the third fight with Duran, I think those sold pretty good as well. People got into it. Were they kind of duds? Yeah. I mean, the third Duran and Laron fight at the Mirage, people kind of are probably more forgetful about it. But regardless, the nostalgia aspect of it, like the champ said, is going to attract people. It's going to make people curious. There's also the aspect of it where the new fan base is always curious about the old time fighters, which is why Tyson always gets views even today, because people are always curious about the Mike Tyson mystique, the Mike Tyson effect. So people that weren't able to be alive and wake up the morning of a Mike Tyson fight to know what that feels like, want to feel that today. I promise you, it's nothing like it was in 1989 with Tyson, no matter what you guys want to feel. But regardless, I think people get curious about that. And I think this is going to be sort of the same.
Floyd Mayweather Jr. reportedly walked away with around $200 million from his first fight against Manny Pacquiao, while Pacquiao earned roughly $100 million, numbers that reshaped the business of boxing at the time. For this rematch, reports suggest both fighters are positioned to receive around $100 million each, a figure that immediately explains why the conversation around the bout carries financial weight alongside competitive intrigue. From a practical standpoint, if a fighter is still in strong physical condition and presented with a payday of that magnitude, turning it down becomes almost unimaginable. Prize fighters, by definition, fight for purses, for opportunity, for leverage, for reward. In that context, declining such a deal would go against the very economics that drive the sport. The financial incentive alone reveals much about the motivation behind this matchup. Even if the competitive stakes don't mirror a championship title fight, the compensation transforms it into a powerful business decision. In today's boxing landscape, money and legacy often intersect, and sometimes the purse itself becomes part of the story.
In an exhibition bout, also probably in April, but in a different location. And it sets them up on the same time schedule where if they're going to do a rematch, September 19th at the Sphere in Las Vegas. The fact that Netflix is doing it is not surprising at all. That's always been what they've been talking about doing. I think both fighters and everybody involved understands that it's one thing when everybody wanted to see the fight in 2015, you put it on pay-per-view and it's going to be a blockbuster, which it was. They charged $100 for the pay-per-view, the biggest price ever for a pay-per-view. And it set every conceivable record that you could think of in terms of gate, boxing, pay-per-view buys, overall revenue, the sponsorships, the merchandise. You pick a metric and it broke the record. That would not be the case now, 11 years down the road, since they first fought in 2015. So they needed somebody to put up big money, and it really fits the profile of what Netflix is trying.
Netflix's involvement amplifies the spectacle, positioning the event on a platform that thrives on high-profile moments rather than traditional championship-driven matchups. Historically, the streaming giant has leaned into entertainment-first bouts, events designed to generate buzz, clicks, and global conversation. Even if they rank lower in competitive significance compared to elite title fights, that approach guarantees massive exposure and effortless access for casual viewers who tune in for names they recognize. But it also raises deeper questions about the direction of boxing content being promoted. Critics argue that platforms like Netflix have the power and responsibility to elevate fight quality alongside star power, ensuring audiences get more than just spectacle. For some fans, the concern isn't about visibility, it's about value. They want matchups that balance business with legitimacy. Ultimately, this fight reflects a broader shift in modern boxing, where lucrative prize money and global streaming reach often take priority, and entertainment sometimes outweighs competitive purity.
Events and whatever you want to say about it, maybe not for guys like me or you who are involved in doing boxing-related stuff on a daily basis, but for the regular person that's scrolling through Netflix to see what's on a weekend night. They're going to look and say, oh, Mayweather, Pacquiao, I know those guys. They're as famous as any boxers in the world. And if it doesn't cost me any extra money and I'm just paying my normal subscription, yeah, I'll check it out. And it's going to do big numbers. That's why Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson did the numbers it did. And that's why, we saw them be interested in a fight like Jake Paul against Anthony Joshua and the other events that they have done. Tyson Fury's come back as they try to, build up more in the UK. And this is going to be the same situation. They put out a lot of money to do the fight, but not as much as what obviously they generated in 2015. And, it will be, it'll be a big event, but how much of a fight it will be, who the heck knows? But I mean, to answer the question, I'm not looking forward.
That's it for today's video. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next update, because the story isn't over yet, and the drama inside and outside the ring is only building. We'll be back with more insight, breaking news, and reactions as this matchup continues to unfold. Don't miss it.